Hello everybody and welcome back to another new vlog. I appear to have landed on the surface of Neptune today. Just take a look at the conditions around here. It's absolutely incredible. There's no views or anything from where I'm standing, but I'd imagine on a clear day there would be. But it's misty, it's murky, it's foggy, and I love it. But the place I'm in is actually not the surface of Neptune. I'm in the Peak District National Park once again, and I've come to a place called Stanage Edge. Now this is a gritstone outcrop on the edge of, or in the middle of, the Peak District National Park, and it's one of many around here, which are, well, one of many edges around here. And as you'll see from previous vlogs, I've previously been to Kerber Edge and Baslow Edge last month, in fact. And the scenery there was similar to this, although the conditions weren't quite as socked in as they are today. But I love it. What a scene. I've already taken a few photos and I've probably already shown you them now anyway. I'm going to stop here for a little while and take a few more and just keep walking along Stanage Edge. It is the longest of these gritstone outcrops in the Peak District, running about 3.5 miles. I'm not going to walk that far. If I get a mile, I'll be amazed. But I've got to watch where I'm walking as well, because of the landscape around me and because the conditions are so bad. And also, I'm aware of time as well for getting back to Sheffield to get myself home. So I'm going to give this one a go and see what I can capture here. Well, what about this for a spot, eh? Check out these hardy creatures behind me. 3 sheep there, just hanging around right on the very edge of Stanage Edge. I love the way these rocky outcrops just stick out and jut out in the landscape everywhere you go around here. They kind of make it really, really interesting and really kind of unearthly, or otherworldly, should I say. And that is what really kind of interests me about coming to the Peak District, these edges, because there are so many of them and they're all very similar to this in so many ways, but also they're all very different to this as well. And I can't really explain how that works, but I just love all the different sights that you get from up here. So I've stopped and taken a few images, but I have noticed also that for a change, I'm not using my tripod. I seem to be hand holding a lot of these images. I don't know if that's just because of the conditions and because it makes it easier for me to hold onto the camera and just hand hold to take the photos, or whether there's something a bit more interesting about the image stabilization built into the lenses that I've got on this camera. But also, I think it's just the fact that the light around here is perfect really today for some decent photos. There's no scenery, obviously. You can't see anything out in front of you except literally just these rocky outcrops sticking out on the edge of the edge. So I'm going to take a few more photos of this as I'm walking, and then I'll head back down to the village of Hattersage in a little while. I've just walked past a spot where you can actually climb down the rock face to a place called Balcony Cave, and it's literally just a cave in the side of the gritstone rock here. It's a fairly easy walk to get down to on a dry, warm, sunny day when the views are quite nice, and it would be worth doing that one day. However, today, when it's quite murky and quite slippery, I don't fancy trying to climb down that little treacherous little path that goes down there. But it is a short little path and it's quite an easy one to get down to. But it just looks as though the rocks are a bit too slippy and there's nothing at all to hold on to when you get down there. So climbing into the cave and climbing back out of the cave, for me, seems a bit too much of a risk on a day like this, although on another day it might be all right. Next door, in fact, to Balcony Cave, there is also another cave, which I don't think you can actually get to, although you can see it from Balcony Cave, and I know that because there are many images of it online. And it's called Robin Hood's Cave, and allegedly it's exactly where Robin Hood hid out for a while when he was up here on the Peak District himself. We are obviously not that far north of Nottinghamshire. I'm in Derbyshire at the moment, North Derbyshire, not far from Sheffield, but also not far from Nottingham as well. So as you can imagine, if you know of the legend of Robin Hood, he was from the Nottinghamshire area, so you can imagine that he would be up on a place like this, not too far away from home, hiding out. So I think that's quite a cool little story. I don't know how true it is, but the legend says it's true, so it must be. Anyway, I'm going to carry on moving on and try and get some more photos up here. I won't stay very much longer up here now. I'm getting quite close to a point where I can get back off the edge onto a main road and walk back down to Harthur's Edge. On that road, I think there are going to be another couple of photo opportunities to talk about, so I'm not going to switch the camera off yet. I'm not going to stop taking photos. I'll keep walking and let you know what I'm doing. I'm not going down there, not a chance. There is a path down there and you can see it quite clearly, but as I said before, it looks a little bit treacherous and I don't fancy going down there at all today. But the path from here leads back to a main road, and then from that main road I can walk down back into the village of Harthur's Edge, as I said earlier. But one of the reasons I came out today is I bought some new hiking boots a week or so ago, and today is the first chance I've had to get out and actually use those, and I'm really glad I bought them, to be honest with you. You know, when you've had an old pair of shoes that you've had for years and years and years and they feel familiar and comfortable and they're lived in and they've told stories. Well, my old boots that I've had for about 15 years felt like that, and I was a bit wary about putting these new ones on and trying to wear them in on a trip like this today, because I didn't know how they would wear. But as I sat in the house this morning and put these new shoes on, these new hiking boots, they felt familiar. They felt like my old boots again. They're exactly the same make. They're by a company called Brasher, and like I say, I've had Brasher boots for 15 years or more, and I just thought getting a new pair of them at this time was the perfect opportunity. But coming out and testing them out on a day like this, I wasn't sure whether they would stand up to the pressure, but like I say, they feel just like my old boots and they feel reliable, so I'm glad I bought them. Anyway, time to move on. There was a change of plan. I discovered that as I walked along the path at the edge, on the edge of Stanage Edge, the path that I needed to follow to get back to Harthur's Edge, according to Google Maps, looked very treacherous. It was a rocky path back down the side of Stanage Edge, and just at that point where I found the path, the weather changed very slightly. Instead of being misty and murky and generally overcast, it became a very fine, persistent, drizzly rain. So instead I carried on walking along the path I was on to eventually find a much safer, much more secure path, which I followed, and this has taken me onto this road that I'm on now. I also looked at Google Maps and discovered that I was quite close to Bamford, and I thought, well, I could walk to Bamford from here and just get a train back from Bamford to Sheffield. However, as I started walking down this road towards Bamford, I also discovered that I would have to take a right turn to get to Bamford, and by taking that right turn I was going down a public footpath that would head through fields that were muddy and mucky and terrible really. So instead I decided to carry on down this road, and actually this road takes me all the way back into Stanage. So as it is, I'm going to end up back in Stanage as I'd planned originally, but by following a completely different route. In the meantime, the camera battery has died, so I've been unable to shoot any footage for the last 40 minutes or so, but also I've got a spare battery in the bag, and I've just managed to find a spot where I can put the spare battery in and finish this vlog off. But also now I've noticed that my wireless microphone is also losing power, so I'm going to end the vlog here. If you've enjoyed it, please remember to give the video a thumbs up, and also please remember to subscribe to the channel, and I look forward to seeing you on another vlog very soon. Bye for now.